Looking over to downtown, starting to get a few peaks of blue sky in and around Macon at this hour. We've been dealing with overcast skies through a majority of the morning, and that's not entirely bad news because that's kept our temperatures down a bit, and it's also not allowing our atmosphere to destabilize, which means we're a little okay on the storm front, at least for the moment. So yeah, still some clouds in the sky, looking at 85 in Macon, 83 in Warner Robins. Days previous, we had already been in the 90s here by the noon hour, 80 in Wrightsville and in Sandersville, 84 down in Cordele and Unadilla. But man, the dew points, it is a humid afternoon. 77 in Warner Robins and in Americus, 74 in Macon. No secret about it being a humid day. 92 is what it feels like in Macon, 90 in Warner Robins, and 94 in Americus. Now, we are dry in central Georgia right now, but up to the north, I've been talking about it all morning. We're going to have to be looking to the north and doing a lot of nowcasting. We do have a line of showers and storms trying to work their way across the Georgia state line. Notice how it had some lightning with it and not as much anymore. The big question is, can that make it to central Georgia? Well, let's check out Future View, but notice how when Future View starts here, it does not have all of the rain that is south of Nashville and on the west side of Chattanooga. So we've got to consider that when we play Future View forward and see what's going to happen here in central Georgia. So if you map out the timing, you're thinking maybe 2-3 o'clock we could have some rain in here because that's what's currently happening in the northwest parts of the state and trying to slide down to the south. This run has just one storm here at about 6 p.m. and then potentially some lasting through the overnight hours. That's 11 p.m. there. Continues to move down to the south with some off and on rain through the overnight hours. If this exact scenario happens, I don't think we have too much of a storm threat through the overnight. But then for tomorrow, it looks like a majority of the storms, at least on this run, stay in the state of Alabama. I've seen other runs that pull it into the state of Georgia. I've seen even more runs that keep it closer to the South Carolina state line. So, well, again, we are just going to be looking to the north, see what's going on to the north, and then play it by ear here in central Georgia and figure out what's going to happen. Regardless, parts of our area in a level 1 storm threat, that's going to be Sparta to Irwinton, down towards Perry, Unadilla, Montezuma, points north and west. So that does include Macon, Warner Robins, Milledgeville, and Forsyth. On into the weekend, we'll begin to be a little more normal here in central Georgia in terms of just a summertime pattern. It does look like we could potentially get a front in here by the middle part of next week. That's the hope, at least. But as of now, I wouldn't lock anything in just yet. 93 going to be the high temperature today, calling it humid with storms later in the day. Winds out of the south at about 5 miles an hour. Tonight, also the second to last home game for the Macon Bacon. Look for 90s around first pitch at 7 p.m., cooling off down into the 80s by 10 p.m. Watching for storms there as well. 95 on Saturday, 96 on Sunday. A slightly better rain chance on Sunday. Feels like temperatures through the weekend and into next week going to be topping the triple digits here. So even though school started back, still feeling like summertime here in central Georgia.